What's the deal with ginger juice, especially in conjunction with apple cider vinegar? Hi, in case you're new to this channel, I am Slick Nick, your personal keto bro. Clearly, I'm not a doctor, a dietitian, a nutritionist, a personal trainer, just some random guy in Tennessee with 10,000 subscribers who are watching me transform myself into hopefully what will be a man who is down to 17% body fat, close to 20 right now, as I'm approaching my 40th birthday by fully embracing keto to the fullest. So I openly talk about those who have inspired me. I talk about Dr. Berg on YouTube. I talk about Autumn Bates. I talk about the documentary Fat Fiction on Amazon. That these are all fundamental in me becoming full keto. Another one though is Thomas DeLauer. Love that guy too. He's been talking a lot here recently about apple cider vinegar. So what I've done now, my morning routine, I wake up, I drink usually about half of this, which would be a quarter of a gallon of water. And then I take another glass of water, maybe say 8 ounces or so, about a cup of water, and I'll put in 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. And today made the first day that I added a serving of this. This is ginger juice. Now, 1 tablespoon is a serving of this. I do 2 because studies have shown that 2 actually will do better than 1, but 3 not necessarily better than 2. So I do 2 tablespoons of this, but 1 teaspoon is what I tried today. Now here's, in Thomas DeLauer, I talked about this in the video. Yes, there are 5 calories in a serving of ginger juice. Usually ginger, like juice in general, you want to completely stay away from when you're on keto. But the reports are showing that ginger has properties in it that further enhance the fat burning mechanics and mechanisms in the same way that apple cider vinegar does. So here's my new routine that I started today. I woke up, I drank a quarter of a gallon of water. Then I poured another glass of water and I put 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar and 1 teaspoon of the ginger. And I drank that. And then at that point I went on my walk. Normally I go to the gym as well. Came back and then I had my coffee, but this time no MCT oil. I'm cutting that out to make my body further run off of its own fat. Kind of using the MCT oil as training wheels. In the same way when I had my keto coffee around 10 o'clock today was the first time I didn't put any ghee or butter in it. I only put a teaspoon of the MCT oil, just enough to get me to lunchtime. And what time is it now? It's 12:35. Normally I'll eat it at 2. So here's what I'm thinking. If I feel like it today, maybe I'll eat at 1. Maybe I'll eat a little bit earlier, knowing that I probably did a lot more good today with the apple cider vinegar that I've been doing this week. And now adding in the ginger juice in there. So yes, it's about not spiking insulin. And we know that carbohydrates are what spikes it. We know that pure fat doesn't. But the 5 calories in this is not something I'm worried about, because arguably my instant coffee has 3 or 4 grams of carbohydrates in it, arguably. So it's about looking at the overall picture. You can clearly see, bro science, if that's what you want to call it. We're talking about stuff that's not embraced by the medical community, that's scoffed by personal trainers. This is not widely accepted information. That's why, if you can check out, I made a video that said, keto is not a diet, it's a cult. And if you want to check out the 5 pillars of being keto, which are in this video right here, which I was the one who put this list together, but it's a matter of filling up on fat and fiber for fuel. It is making sure that you are fasting, so you're allowing your body to not be burning fat most of the day, only eating on a short window. For me, it's between 2 and 7 p.m. every day. Next is drinking at least a gallon of water a day. Number 4 is walking, not running, 2 to 3 miles a day. And then lastly, number 5 is getting at least 7 hours of sleep, because between walking and getting enough sleep, you're helping balance out that belly fat storing hormone called cortisol. So you could be in a caloric deficit and keep losing fat, but in theory, that belly fat's going to be really hard to lose as long as you keep upping your production of cortisol. So it's a matter of looking at these hormones and knowing that has a very important role in you being able to actually cut fat. Now granted, notice I'm not talking about protein a lot, but I will say that my fat has the protein built in. 19 grams of fat, yes, but 11 grams of protein. I'm always looking to have more fat than I am protein, and now I'm only looking to have just enough fat to get me through the meal until my next meal, my second meal a couple hours later. First one at 2, second one about 5:30. And then at that last of that second meal, having my Greek yogurt, got enough fat and protein in there to get me to where I don't need to eat more food until the next day when I officially break my fast that next afternoon. And especially now that I'm weaning myself off of the butter for my coffee, and for my first cup of coffee, no MCT oil, instead of just doing the ginger juice alongside that coffee with the apple cider vinegar. So this is part of the journey. I think it's important to make videos about these little things. In itself, that may not sound that interesting, but what I predict is down the road, months from now, when I do get to my goal of 17% body fat, and you see me wearing a size medium t-shirt, and the bottom half doesn't stick out like this, instead it's flat all the way, or actually it'll go down in theory. When that happens, we can look back to videos in days like this, where I made these little discoveries on little things that can help the progress. If you have comments, if you have opinions, if you have beliefs, where do they belong? Right here.